My name is Abbie Vandivere, and on behalf of myself and my colleague Annelies van Loon, I would like to present the Pigment reference set, a resource for technical art history at the master's level and scientific analyses. The Pigment reference set, or PRS, of 85 schematic paintouts incorporates pigments used by artists in 15th to 17th century Europe. Arranged into 7 color families, the PRS reveals how pigments and paints behave in their pure form, applied in different thicknesses on top of a carbon back underdrawing and a chalk blue ground. The paints were also mixed 1-to-1 with lead white, as you can see in the diagram below. 2 complete sets are available, one at the University of Amsterdam and the other at the Mauritshuis in The Hague. All of the paintouts have been documented and analyzed using a variety of technologies in cooperation with the Mauritshuis and the Rijksmuseum, including photography, XRF, XRD, FORS, RIS, DRSI, false color IR, UV, and microsampling. The PRS allows for the analyses of individual pigments unencumbered by the complex mixtures and layering often encountered in real artworks. Both within and outside the academic setting, this allows for comparison with the analytical results from actual art objects. The data can be used as a reference to interpret more complex paint systems on historic artworks and the results of scientific analyses. By using the PRS as a learning tool, students will be able to understand the visual, optical, and handling properties of pigments in oil paint and relate these to their physical and chemical composition. Relate the results of scientific analyses to specific pigments and their origin, better understand, recognize, and identify the materials found in artworks, and gain insight into the historical sources and making process of pigments. The PRS can be incorporated into several courses within the Conservation and Restoration Department at the University of Amsterdam. For instance, in the course Object Analysis, the students could be presented with a case study of a 17th century painting containing a pigment that could not be identified visually. The students would carry out scientific analyses on the object using the technologies that are available. They would compare the results with the PRS and could also carry out additional analysis to further contextualize the results and interpret the analytical data. The PRS was made by students and faculty from the MA program in Technical Art History at the University of Amsterdam. By making observations during the preparation, application, and drying of paints, they learned about the visual and physical characteristics. They experienced the act of paint making themselves, which helped to understand the affordances and limitations of the materials used by traditional European painters. The PRS has the potential to become an invaluable resource for conservators, students, researchers, and scientists. Through a website, users could search for information about traditional pigments and how each of them behaves under different analytical conditions. In the future, we intend to create a database and online platform to make this resource freely accessible to a wider scientific and educational community.